Ladies and gentlemen, the sequel of Godzilla vs. King Kong has been officially announced, and production will begin later this year in Australia. Hey everybody, I am Robert Storms. Welcome back to the channel once again. As always, if you guys are finding me for the very first time, please do me a massive favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. That way you guys can stay up to date on all future content here on the channel. So it looks like Godzilla vs. King Kong will begin a sequel that's beginning production in Australia later on this year. Now, Godzilla vs. King Kong I thought was a massive success. Now, this movie didn't hit me 100%. I thought that all the fighting scenes were absolutely phenomenal. Like, I enjoyed all the fighting scenes with this movie, but I did think the movie suffered from a little bit of character problems. You know, there were some things in this movie that I was just like, but the fighting pieces, like the fighting set pieces looked absolutely phenomenal. So I was like, okay, you know, I can buy certain things as long as I'm having fun with the movie. I'm okay with that, you know? So now that they have announced production for later on this year, I was like, this makes a lot of sense. And this is why this makes a lot of sense, because when you go to the box office, it actually made 468 million worldwide. That might not seem like a lot, but you have to remember, we were knee deep in COVID territory at this point. Like, we were knee deep in the pandemic. This movie was a day and date movie on HBO Max, and this movie still came out. It made almost $500 million. And that's with everything stacked against it. It had COVID, where people weren't going to the theaters. HBO Max had it on day and date. That's how I watched it. I watched it on HBO Max in the comfort of my own home. Like, so they had all the cards stacked against it, yet this movie still came out and was able to make a buttload of money at the box office. So now the studio is probably thinking, hey, imagine what we could do. Imagine what we could do if this movie gets released, we get a sequel release, and it's not in the middle of the pandemic. Imagine how much money this movie can make. If it made that much money before, imagine how much money it would make now. And that makes an awful lot of sense when you think about it that way. Godzilla vs. King Kong, two icons in the legendary monsters, like these two big behemoths just bashing each other. You know, maybe they can work on some of the story problems that I felt was in the first movie. The visuals, the action pieces were not some of the weakest parts of that movie. To me, that was the standout. I want to see more of that. If they can just figure out how to work on the human element, then I think they got a real hit on their hand, and I don't want to see them abandon this. So I'm so happy that they decided, yes, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a second Godzilla vs. Kong, because the first one made so much money at the box office. Let's see what a second one can do with it being in production later on this year in Australia. So I'm super excited for that. I like to see them kind of go the route of Skull Island, because Skull Island I thought was a good movie where it didn't really focus on the human characters. It was just basically, you know, King Kong doing King Kong shit, where the Godzilla movies for some reason just kind of really focus on, you know, human characters, and I don't want to see that all that much. I want to be able to see just straight up Godzilla vs. Kong. Of course, there's got to be another outside force for them to team up, and I'm down for that, but I want to see what happens, because the first one had a lot of potential, and for a lot of people, it did live up to the hype. For a lot of people, it absolutely lived up to the hype. For me, I thought it had a lot of great action set pieces, great visuals. If they could just work on some of the story elements, I would be happy. But when a movie makes this much money, then it doesn't, like it makes sense. It's good business to go ahead with a sequel. Also, guys, before we end the show, I want to take this time to throw a shout out. If you guys can go over there and please subscribe to my gaming channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I can only do that with each and every one of your basically your help if you guys can just go over there, click the like button, and subscribe over there. I do have the link to the channel in the description box below, as well as a pinned comment. I upload videos daily there, just like I do here on news, reviews, and Let's Plays. So if you guys can go over there and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Help a brother out. I would appreciate it so very much for all your support. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys can stay up to date on all future content here on the channel. And until next time, guys, as always, I am Robert Storms, and that is my opinion.